Oh boy, I'm absolutely ecstatic. I get to do another tier list video. Oh, okay, there's finally been another update to Shindo. It only took him 2 months, but you know, we might be back, we might be back. So, as per usual, I'm just gonna go through all the tiers. Start from the bottom, go to the top, and that's it. Okay, so obviously, the bottom tier, you don't want anything in this tier. If you spun anything in this tier, respin it immediately. I don't care if you only have one spin left. Literally, you cannot get anything worse than these things. Like, especially for PvP. Like, PvE is a different meta. I'll do a different tier list on that. You can click the link. Actually, no, click at the top of the screen right now. I'll put it right there. So, yeah, that's going to be my PvE tier list. Take a look at that, and let's move on to the next tier. So just like the last tier, you don't really want anything in this. But unlike the last tier, these are actually bearable if you do get them. So if you have enough skill, you will be able to do something with them. Unlike the last tier, because everything in this sucked. No potential whatsoever. But for this, you might be okay. As long as you know what you're doing, you're okay. No need to respin if you don't have to. Don't want to risk getting anything in the buttons tier, of course. Now for the good tier. So you might want to take a long look in this tier, because if you have anything in this tier, that's good. You can keep that. Don't bother re-rolling, unless you have like 100 or more spins, because the chances you get something better than this are quite low. There's only about like 20 or so bloodlines better than the ones right here. So, yeah, this one, unlike the last two tiers, is ordered, so the one in last place is the worst, the one in first place is the best. I do have a bit of bias when it comes to Snake Man because I love One Piece way more than I like, you know, Naruto. So, that has to be in the #1 spot on good. So, take that with a grain of salt. Is that even how it goes? Pinch of salt? I don't really care. So let's go on to the next tier. Now this tier is gonna be the last essential, like, area. You want to pay close attention to this. I'll explain why each of these bloodlines is in its spot right now, just so you guys know, and so I can stretch this out to 8 minutes and get ad revenue. Hooray! So, Satori Rengoku is a really good bloodline. It got reworked recently. Before then, it was just kind of mid. Honestly, I don't know why Van Helsing is that high. I must have been drunk when making this tier list, but whatever. So, Satori Akuma has some nice combo extending moves, high damage output. So, the third move extends into an air combo, so you can just extend that nicely into the rest of the moves. In fact, you can actually stack the first move on top of the third move to make like a 150 damage combo with just two moves. And then the second move, whilst it's not too great, it does make a good counter for taijutsu builds, because the taijutsu users can actually accidentally hit your clones, and then they are finished, because you can just hit them with the first move, third move, whatever, and even the mode specs, because the mode is quite good on Satori Rengoku too. You can become a giant Susanoo and just stab people, do a ton of damage, and it's just an all-around good bloodline. So next up is Dark Jokai. Dark Jokai, many people are going to disagree with my placement of this because they are probably tryhards and they use this in their kits because it's meta. So, this tier list is showing you guys the best bloodlines overall. I'm not going off one specific move, but that is why it's in the top tier. Because one of Dark Jokai's moves is very good, and that would be the first move, which is a knockback, AoE long range move. Actually, it's mid range, but and it just cancels out any rush moves coming towards you. So, like, if someone were to use taijutsu and you hit them with the first move, they would be stunned temporarily and unable to move. So you can just counter them using that right after. As for the mode is very good, especially the second mode. If you manage to stun lock a player and then use the Q spec and hit every single one, it does about 130k damage, which is very good for a very old bloodline. Next up is Doku Tengoku. Now, is this even Doku? Yeah, this is Doku Tengoku. So, the mode of this is kind of iffy. It's like a counter. It's quite cool, I suppose. But the main appeal is going to be in the moves. They have good combo potential and high damage. So it got reworked and buffed recently, so it's even better than it originally was. So I used to have this in good tier, but now it's in best. And the moves of this thing, I'm trying to remember what they are, honestly, because all I remember is that it's good. I don't remember the moves. So there's one move that's like a rush move. You fly in the sky, chase after a player, get him in a combo, and then it turns into an air combo right after. I believe that's one of the moves. That used to knock back. They changed it to an air combo, and that's why it's good now, because it's extendable. So, yeah, that's all I'm gonna talk about for that. It does have a counter, but it's kind of like, mm, you know, not the best. The moves, however, good damage, good combo potential. Alright, now, ow, that hurt my head. Alright, now Van Helsing is a very high iframe heavy bloodline, and that's why it's at the top tier. Literally, if you don't know how to deal with it, it could be one of the best bloodlines in the game. But luckily, if you fought someone using Van Helsing before, it's not that bad. So the E-spec of the mode and the second move are the main reasons why it's up this high, because they can go into an iframe state for about 20 seconds, and you cannot do anything to damage them during that time. It's honestly so OP, and right after they get out of that state, they can hit you with a stamina drain, a mode drain, and a chi drain, which melts you, of course. But luckily, if you know what you're doing, it's easy to avoid as you can go over the rings. But since this is for the general players, that is why Van Helsing is going to be this high. Alright, up next is Ray character. Obviously, Ray is fat, so this is a pretty good bloodline because of how heavy he is. It just runs over people and stuns them for a very, very long time. And it is ground locked, obviously, because Ray can't jump. Yeah, it just has good combos, good damage. That's about it. As for Diva Rengoku, this is mainly up here because of the last move, which I believe got rebuffed recently after being nerfed for a long time. So the third move is now good again. The second move is a pull, which extends into a combo. I'm trying to recall what the first move is, and I can't do it. I don't know why. Oh, right, it's a ranged block breaker. So the mode is also very good. There's a counter within the mode that lasts about 10 seconds. And it just does a decent amount of damage. Not too much, like the other bloodlines on this list, but the third move does do like 100k, so that's a lot. And it guard breaks, and it stuns, so it's very, very good. Next is Ashen Storm. So this is just like Dark Jokai up here for one single move that is meta, and that is the first move. So if you are new and don't have multiple bloodline slots, I would not recommend going for this bloodline, but if you are a good player with a lot of bloodline slots, I would recommend going for it because the first move allows you to teleport onto a player and immediately get them into an air combo. Like, I think it's a single hand sign, just like a clap of your hands and you got them. So it's very OP. As for Tetsuo Gaijin, honestly, this could be a bit lower. I don't really like it that much, but it's really good in 1v1s, not so much in teamfights. If you try to use this in teamfights, you're gonna get cooked because of all the place lock moves that it uses that don't even give you iframes. Like the first move, it's a good chase move, except it puts you in an animation with the player that does not give you iframes, allegedly. I learned that from Ralph Sean. Not sure how accurate it is, couldn't be bothered to test it. So, Tetsuo Kaiji in the mode is also very good. I like the second move the most because it's a chase move that does a lot of damage and blinds the enemy, so that's quite useful. The mode is very good. I can't... C-spec... C-spec, E-spec... Oh, right, the E-spec is really nice. It's a Ash Breath that stuns and then explodes after the stun, and the stun is about as long as Ray Carrot's stun, so you know that's a very long stun. Enough time for you to run away or just continue a combo, so it's just a very nice bloodline overall. As for Jokai, this has had a massive increase since the last rework for CC. Like, the CC rework of this thing was nuts. Like, I love this bloodline. It has short range, but the second mode makes up for it because it has a C-spec that can drag you in and then absolutely demolish enemy HP. So, it drags you in, stops people from auto-dodging. I believe it bypasses block, as well as lasting 10 seconds, so it outlasts auto-dodges. And honestly, it's just insane. I believe it... No, it doesn't outdo perfect block, but it can outlast it, so that's just nuts. As for Sabaru Raiden, it's just an all-around good bloodline, good mode, good moves. Nice counter that used to be super OP, not that OP anymore. This could do with going a few tiers lower, honestly. Not tiers, but like places lower. So probably like around Ray Carrot level, but the E-spec on the mode is very good. So I wouldn't move it that low. Oh boy, Aizen. This is just super busted bloodline, high damage, high range, just a runner bloodline. You can literally transform and fly across the map in a second. But unfortunately, the moves don't really have much substance. It's all in the mode. The first mode is the best mode, the second mode is for running. It's just so good, but the move-wise, it kind of sucks. Ryan Gaiden. Now this is very good because it's an EKG, and I believe it's the first one I've mentioned on this list. Yeah, it is. Apart from, oh, Satoru Akuma is also an EKG, I forgot to mention that. But, yeah, Ryan Gaiden has some nice combo potential and some nice stuns, as well as a mode while being an EKG. Now that's very important, because modes and EKGs don't usually go together, at least not until recently. So, that's very important to mention. As for Powder, this is also an EKG. It has very good combo potential and very good damage, so that's why this is going on the list. It also has a low amount of hand signs, as well as a very long stun in the second move. Now Surge, super long stuns. It's basically like how it was before it was nerfed. So if you ever played Shindo for that long, you'll know how good that is. It's just a bunch of stuns, bunch of traps. It's a trap bloodline. You place down traps on the floor, people walk into it, they get stunned for about 4 seconds. It's nuts. Raiken Prime, I honestly don't know much about this. I haven't tested it, even though I have the Bloodline. But I just know it does a ton of damage, and the mode is cool. As for Indra Akuma, this has a very good fire move that stuns the opponent for about a solid 3 seconds, as well as a Genjutsu, and a mode with extremely high ranged M1s, and an immortal form. It's not immortal, but it reduces damage by 75%, so it may as well be. As well as that, it has an increased hitbox of about the same size as Shindai Akuma, so you know how big that is. Very, very big. So people won't even be able to hit you unless you're in full form. And the C-Spec does about 100k damage. Botomaki Gaiden, all around good bloodline, high damage, good mode, good combo potential. Just like the standard good bloodline build, you know. Now, what is this called again? Ashura Shizen is just a better version of Indra Akuma. Better moves. It got nerfed recently, but not enough to move it down a significant amount from the last list. So, I think what they changed was a 0 second to a 0.4 second on the Vine cooldown, which really doesn't make a difference. I think it wasn't on the Vine cooldown, it was the Vine casting time, but yeah, it's literally the same. Getsuga. I was trying to remember the name of this. Also an EKG. It's basically like Indra and Ashura Shizen if they were an EKG and absolutely busted. Because one of the moves on this is a chase move, a block breaker that still activates even if you get hit by the Dark Jokai move I was talking about earlier. And what else? It drains chi, all in one move. It also has the Super Titan mode that I was talking about that Indra and Ashura have. So the damage reduction and the super high damage C-Spec, as well as a high damage E-Spec. Now Kamaki Kuma is my personal favorite on this best tier, because it has some nice combo potential with the first mode, and high damage output in the third mode. As well as this, the third move is very useful for capturing opponents into combos, good combo style. And all around the Bloodline is just useful, especially the counter present on the first and second mode. If you press E-Spec when you're in there, every single time you take a tick of damage, it is reflected 24,000 damage back at the caster. So, if someone hit you with the Ashura Vines, for example, which is a rapid hit attack, it just goes bap, 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 they'd take 24k damage, 24k damage, 24k damage, and they would just be suffering. Alright, there's not much to say about Arahaki Jokai, other than the fact it's literally just a better Jokai with bigger range and higher damage. And Code Gaiden. Oh, thank the Lord this got nerfed, but it's still the best bloodline in the game. That's just how broken it is. Literally, the only nerf they applied was cooldown nerfs. So, yeah, it's still up there because, you know, puts cooldowns on your moves for no reason. Starts combos, massive trap AoE, massive pulls, it's just insane. Anyway, I'm so glad I'm over with this tier, because the last tier is obviously just the red bloodline because it one-shots people, blah blah blah. It does have a cooldown of 2 hours, so you basically use this, call the person trash, leave the game. GG. Okay, that's all. That is all the bloodlines. Please subscribe, like, and join the Discord. Link is in the comments and the description. I'll put it in both just for you guys. I love you. Bye.